How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're talking about movie martial arts fight scenes. From Jet Li to Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, we count 10 of the best movie martial arts fight scenes ever filmed. Released in 2000, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is perhaps the most well-known Chinese martial arts movie of all time in the US. The film was extremely well received and was nominated for 10 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Cinematography. Set in the Qing Dynasty, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon has everything a lover of kung fu films could ask for. Epic martial arts fight sequences, beautiful scenery and a stunning soundtrack combine to immerse the viewer in an authentic Chinese martial arts experience. The film is littered with fantastic fight scenes choreographed by legendary fight sequence director Yuen Ping. The best is the duel between Yu Shu Lian, played by Michelle Yeoh, and Zhen Yu, played by Zhang Ziyi. Wielding the legendary sword, the Green Destiny, Zhen manages to destroy every weapon that Shu Lian arms herself with. The fight finally draws to an end when Shu Lian defeats Zhen with a broken sword. Bruce Lee's Game of Death was never completed as Lee passed away during production. The film, which was also written and produced by Lee, centers around the character Hai Tian, a retired martial arts champion. Hai is forced to fight his way to the top of a mysterious pagoda after a Korean underworld gang kidnaps his younger brother and sister. The pagoda has a different martial arts master guarding each level. Hai must learn each master's weakness in order to defeat him and progress to the next level. Filming was only completed on 3 of the intended 5 floors. Firstly, he squares off against his longtime friend, Filipino Eskrima master Dan Inosanto, as well as a Korean Hapkido master Ji-Han Jai, before facing his final challenge, the 7'2" tall ex-basketballer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Jabbar, who was a student of Lee's, uses his height and insanely long limbs to kick and punch his 5'7" opponent. While the choreography may not be as tight as today's movie fight scenes, you're in constant awe of the size difference between the two as they fight their way around the cramped top floor of the pagoda. Lee eventually triumphs when he learns that his oversized opponent has a weakness to light. Back in the 1990s, Steven Seagal was a pretty big deal in Hollywood and he was on par with the Van Dammes and the Stallones of his day. In Out for Justice, Seagal plays a tough New York cop from Brooklyn named Gino Felino. He's out for revenge against Richie Madano, a member of the Mafia who murdered his partner. When Gino confronts Richie's brother Vinny at the bar he owns, he's forced to wipe the floor with everyone in sight. Showcasing Seagal's unique brand of bone-breaking joint locks and judo throws, the fight scene also features martial arts legend and good friend of Bruce Lee, Dan Inosanto. Released in 1999, The Matrix revolutionized Hollywood action sequences and fight scenes. Directed by the Wachowskis, the film draws upon their admiration for Japanese anime and martial arts films. The Matrix popularized bullet time, the visual effect that involves the camera moving freely through a slow-motion sequence. When Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, challenges Keanu Reeves' character Neo to a duel in a simulator program, the result is one of the most memorable fight scenes in movie history. Neo, who has just learnt Kung Fu by having it downloaded directly into his brain, is forced to test his new skills whilst coming to grips with the fact that the Matrix is nothing more than a simulation controlled by sentient machines. Seemingly outclassed by Morpheus' skill, Neo quickly learns how to manipulate the program to outmatch his opponent. The action sequences received a variety of reactions from film critics. Many loved the blend of new camera techniques and Hong Kong-style wire sequences, while others felt that the over-the-top action detracted from a well-thought-out and interesting storyline. Either way you look at it, this is still an amazing fight scene. Released in 1982, the Chinese martial arts film The Shaolin Temple was the first Hong Kong production to be filmed in mainland China. Often labelled one of the greatest martial arts films of all time, the film stars a very young Jet Li in his debut role. Li plays Zhu Yuan, a young boy seeking revenge for the death of his father. He finds his way to the Shaolin Temple where he learns Kung Fu and after several years of training plans his attack. The film is littered with amazing acrobatic fight scenes that showcase many different Chinese martial arts styles. The best of them is the final confrontation between the Emperor's army and the monks of the Shaolin Temple. The fight contains every type of weapon imaginable and culminates in the ultimate showdown between Zhu and the Emperor. While the film is subtitled and the quality's not the best, it more than makes up for it with some of the very best martial arts fight scenes of all time. Everyone knows legendary martial artist and action film star Jackie Chan. Over his career, Chan has appeared in countless movies alongside many of the world's top martial artists. Choosing one performance that stands out above all others is no easy task. However, his greatest fight scene of all time would have to be the epic finale to the Hong Kong kung fu film Drunken Master 2. Released in the US as The Legend of Drunken Master, the final fight scene goes for more than 20 minutes, with the final showdown between Chan and co-star Ken Lo being one of the best examples of action choreography of all time. Lo met Chan in 1986. He was working in a Hong Kong disco as the head of security and was later hired by Chan as his personal bodyguard and member of his stunt team. The film, which was a sequel to Chan's 1978 film Drunken Master, earned box office success in both Hong Kong and the US. It also received critical acclaim. Film reviewer Roger Ebert said, "It may not be possible to film a better fight scene." Drunken Master 2 is listed as one of Time magazine's all-time best 100 films. This fight scene from the 1972 Hong Kong martial arts film The Way of the Dragon features Bruce Lee against a very young Chuck Norris. This appearance alongside Lee was one of Norris's earliest film roles, and if the internet memes are true, the only time he's ever been defeated at anything. Lee plays Tang Lung, a martial artist tasked with protecting a friend's restaurant in Rome from local gangsters. When he refuses to hand the restaurant over, the mafia boss recruits the help of two martial artists to defeat Tang. The final fight scene between Tang and Colt, played by Norris, is set against the backdrop of an empty coliseum. The two exchange blows, with neither seemingly gaining the upper hand. At one point, Lee manages to grab hold of Norris's chest hair and tears off a huge tuft. Tang eventually wins after he manages to injure his opponent. Tom Yum-goong, released as The Protector in the US and The Warrior King in the UK, first hit screens back in 2005. The film sees Thai action star Tony Jaa as Calm, a young martial artist who travels to Australia to retrieve stolen elephants that belong to the King of Thailand. While the film was criticised for its lack of coherent storyline, it does have one of the most epic martial arts fight sequences of all time. In one continuous 4-minute shot filmed entirely on Steadicam, Jaa fights his way to the top of a Thai nightclub. He beats off wave after wave of goons, determined to let nothing stand in his way. The choreography and timing of the scene is amazing, as every element of Jaa's epic ascent had to go perfectly to capture this mind-blowing fight scene all in one take. If you've never seen this film, watch it tonight, if only for this epic battle and masterful choreography. Ip Man 3 is the third installment in the series of films loosely based around the life of legendary Wing Chun master Ip Man. The film sees martial artist Donnie Yen as the title role, squaring off against several opponents, including former world heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson. As epic as the fight is between Yen and Tyson, it's the final showdown between Yen and Chung Tin Chi, played by Jung Jin, that takes the prize as one of the greatest martial arts fight scenes of all time. The pair battle it out using 6.5-point poles, butterfly swords and bare hands to ultimately decide whose Wing Chun skills are the best. Choreographer Yuen Wo-ping appears on this list once again, and it's easy to see why he's one of the best martial arts choreographers in the business. Taking the #1 spot with his second appearance on this list is legendary martial artist and member of the famous Beijing Wushu team Jet Li, in his 1994 action masterpiece Fist of Legend. The film is a remake of the 1972 classic Fist of Fury that starred Bruce Lee. Lee plays Chen Zhen, a student of the famous martial arts master and founder of the Qinwu Athletic Association, Huo Yuanjia. Upon learning of his master's death, Chen returns to Shanghai from Japan, where he's studying. After discovering that his master was poisoned by the head of a local karate school, Chen visits the school where he's confronted by the students. He proceeds to wipe the floor with everyone inside, including the dojo's sensei. When word of Chen's victory spreads, he's forced to leave the school to avoid Japanese authorities. Featuring more masterful choreography by Yuen Wo-ping, Fist of Legend culminates in an epic battle between Chen and Japanese General Go Fujita, played by former WKA World Kickboxing Champion Billy Chow. Beginning in the dojo and sprawling into the gardens and back into the dojo again, the fight sees Chen initially overpowered by the general's hard striking techniques. Battered and bruised, Chen eventually triumphs after Vegeta attacks him with a sword and he's forced to take drastic measures to end the fight. If you've never seen this film and you're a martial arts fan, or even if you're not, Fist of Legend is a must-watch. Well, there's another episode in the can. Thank you so much for watching. Now, what's your favourite movie martial arts fight scene? Did we miss any good ones? Let us know in the comment section below, because I'll be hanging around for 1 hour after this video goes live and we can have a good chat about it. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.